Welcome back to the show. You're listening to Inside Austin. I'm your host, Chris Sanchez. And in the studio now is Tim Stroud. He's with TexVet. TexVet.org is the website. Tim, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, Chris. We really appreciate the opportunity to come out here and tell all the listeners about the great things that we're doing for veterans.
Yeah, and one of the things you're doing for veterans is the Military Appreciation Night coming up Monday, June 27th out at the Dell Diamond. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. But first, can you tell our listeners about the TexVet? What exactly is this? Where did it come out of? And what do you guys do?
Chris, great question. Thank you so much. A lot of people think that we're affiliated with this state, and in a way we are. We're actually run through Texas A&M, the Health Science Center in Round Rock. So for all you Aggies out there listening, we'd love to have your support, and I'm going to issue a challenge at the end of the interview. But imagine that you're a veteran during Vietnam era. You come back, you have to change clothes in the airport because of all the things that are going on with the political climate of those days. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a black eye on the history of America. Well, those veterans have stood up and said no more. And with their help, we've actually created a system of support that helps out the 1.6 million veterans and their families across the great country of Texas. And basically what we do, Chris, we look at the federal, state, and local benefits. Mm-hmm. And we work with the Veterans Land Board, the TVC, which is the Texas Veterans Commission, mm-hmm. the TVLP, the Texas Veterans Leadership Program through the TWC, and so many others, too many to name here. But those resources are listed on the website where they can search for those federal, state, and local benefits, and we really dive down into the local benefits, mm-hmm. and we can talk about those in just I guess just a few minutes.
Really want to point out that this website, TexVet.org, is kind of a one-stop shop for everything that Texas veterans need as far as any kind of resources that are available to them. Can you go over some of those resources that are available on the website?
Chris, I definitely will, and I'm really excited. So if their listeners are wondering if I'm hopped up on caffeine, no, I'm not. I get one cup of coffee a day, but I'm just so excited to help out veterans. I'm a former combat medic in the United States Army, and mm-hmm. I served in Fort Hood at Charlie Company 2/8th Infantry, mm-hmm. and I served in OIF. I came home, and I looked to my left and looked to my right, and I came home early, and I did not see the support that was out there for our veterans. Mm-hmm. I knew it was out there. I just didn't know of all the things that were out there. And mm-hmm. there's over 1,000 veteran service organizations, we call them VSOs, mm-hmm. in the state of Texas that want to help out our men and women and their families that have worn the uniform. In particular, you have the VA. We live in Vision 17, mm-hmm. And the one out of Temple and Waco and down here in Austin. They're doing great things. The VA gets a bad rap, and that's because it's a huge organization, and there's so many intricate levels. Mm-hmm. Did you know there's over 1,200 pages to their website?
Wow.
Exactly. And so where do you start? And by the time you get there, have you forgot what you went there for?
Yeah.
There's a lot of great programs. And so what we do is we peel back the layers. We take the things that we know that the veterans want to look at. We look at housing, and so there's a great program with the VA right now to help veterans combat homelessness. It used to be that, okay, after the fact, you've been kicked out of your homes, then they'll do something for you. Well, now, 90 days before you've got that notice, they're going to help you stay in that home mm-hmm. because they found it takes less money, takes a whole lot of stress off the family, and it's going to help them on the road to recovery. That being said, there's some other great state benefits. Did you know the state of Texas is the only state in the union to have a land board? So the Texas Veterans Land Board gives every soldier that has served here under Jerry Patterson, the director for the VLB, said if you served here a year in Texas, you get the right to purchase land at a discounted rate and use a lot of benefits. Mm-hmm. And so there's outreach efforts that we reach them through there, but we put everything on the website, a one-stop shop, like you said. Mm-hmm. For other benefits. In the city of Houston, they've become their own veteran service organization. One of the organizations that's tied into Houston through the mayor's office, do you know they built 18 homes last year and they gave them away to veterans?
Wow.
Exactly.
That's great.
$250,000 homes. Mm-hmm. Now, they have learned from previous mistakes that they just don't give the home to the veteran. Mm-hmm. One, the tax issue, but two, a lot of veterans, they didn't get the financial support nor education that they should. Now, mm-hmm. we're talking about the enlisted side. The officers usually get that kind of training. Mm-hmm. And as an NCO, I taught my troops, but some of them just didn't get it. And so what they do is they put a $60,000 mortgage on this $250,000 home. So that puts their mortgage about $298 a month. Mm-hmm. Not a bad gig.
That's pretty good.
Guess what their biggest problem with this organization was?
What would that be?
Chris, they had the zeros in their bank account. They could not connect with the veterans that needed these homes. And And so that's where we come in.
Yeah.
And we look for other benefits as well, not just giving away homes. We had another organization, the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, and we linked up with them in Florida last year at Disney World. They took 300 veterans down to Disney, the funnest place on earth, right? And got them on the road to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
We had Dana Bowman, who's actually going to be jumping into the event that we're going to talk about in a little bit, met him there. And what they did, they flew him all around the United States and targeted Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Then after the fact, they asked, hey, we would like to do more in Texas. And so they gave us $75,000 to give away to veterans in Texas at $500 a piece for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to play Santa without the big belly, which is nice. We got to reach out to the families, and we used our contacts through our veteran service organizations, such as Bring Everyone in the Zone out of Colleen, that runs peer-to-peer support. Use some of the other ones, such as Heroes Night Out, and just really drove down and found the veterans that needed the money. Because sometimes you hear stories that they're giving things out and la-di-da-di, everybody shows up. Well, we wanted to make sure that the veterans that got it needed it and would use it wisely.
Once again, my guest here is Tim Stroud. He's the initiative manager with TexVet. You can go to texvet.org to find out some more information about all the great resources that TexVet offers the veterans here in Texas. And it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff out there, Tim. And we've had other guests that come in to Inside Austin and really talk about the resources that are available to the veterans. And the tough part is, like you said, getting it out to the veterans and just finding the information is the tough part. What do you guys do to get it out there? Of course, you come on the radio with me. Is there any other ways that you guys really promote this to the veterans?
That's a great question, Chris. And yes, we worked with, of course, me being Army, partial to them, but we have other branches of services that we have to reach out to. We have a great Coast Guard coalition here in Texas, and we have to make sure that we link out with them as well. Mm-hmm. We go through Camp Mabry, Fort Hood, Fort Sam Houston, Fort Bliss, and all the points in between. Mm-hmm. Also with the cities. And the active duty components, we can reach those pretty easily. That's not counted in the $1.6 million I was talking about. After they've exited the service, how do we stay in touch with them? That's when we go through City of Austin with Alan Bergeron and his project. They reach out to a lot of veterans. They hire a lot of veterans. We also work with ESGR and SHRM. ESGR is the employer support of the Guard and Reserve. SHRM is the Society for Human Resources Management. And we try to find jobs for veterans. We're talking about jobs that will transition from when they wore the camouflage into a blue or gray suit, or if they just they want to do something on the oil rigs, we can help them find those jobs. Now, we're not job placement. That's when we go through another one of our partners, the Texas Workforce Commission. Now, we are partially funded through the Department of State Health Services, DSHS. They've been very benevolent, and we're hoping for continuing support from them and from the A&M system so we can continue. And I know if you're out there and you're Longhorn, don't flip off the channel. Chris has a great show. But we work with all the universities, UNT up in Denton, the Longhorns, all of the 11 universities inside the A&M system, but also Sam Houston State University, ACC, TSU has been a huge supporter of ours, their San Marcos campus and the one in Round Rock. And so we put out through them the student veterans, the SVA, Student Veterans of America, and other programs. In fact, there's an organization that wants to take what we're doing here in Texas and do it nationally, and that's Armed Zilla. And they're gearing up now. They're going to launch in August, which is great, and we're looking forward to that as well.
All right, and you mentioned working with the City of Austin. What other kind of things do you guys do locally for the veterans here in Austin, particularly?
Well, Chris, we also go through the veteran centers. Now, they're the extended arm of the VA system, and so there's a great one in Harker Heights and also one in Austin. And we work with Jamie Nicoletti and her team in Austin, and what that does, it provides us another outreach arm. So if we have flyers or promotions or events that are coming up, we can go through them so they can promote it. One of the worst things that we can do is have this huge party for the veterans and nobody show up.
Yeah.
Recently, there was a program called Wheelers for the Wounded and was out in Dripping Springs. They had 85 four-wheelers that showed up, Jeeps, and these guys are jacked up 6 to 8 inches, and they're going out. It's like a reality TV show going out there. But the problem was they only had like 65 veterans show up. We found out 4 days before the event. And so we're going to ensure next year that with all the sponsorships and stuff, we're able to get out every veteran we can, such as the event that we have coming up.
Tim Stroud is the initiative manager over at TexVet. TexVet.org. You go there and find out some more information. And the event we've been talking about is the Military Appreciation Night coming up Monday, June 27th at the Dell Diamond. It's going to be a game between the Round Rock Express and the Oklahoma City Redhawks. And the gates are opening at 5:30. Game starts at 7:05 p.m. Tim, I'll let you take it from there. Just tell us all about the Military Appreciation Night.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. With this, we're really excited because even though we've coordinated all the events or for this one event, and that's the other way that we reach the veterans and the outreach that you were talking about, is that we simply try to meet as many of them online as we can with through social media. If you haven't got on that train, it's probably left the station already. But some of our veterans, they're just not mobile on the web, and so we have to reach them where they are. And so we reach out through the VFWs, the Legions, and et cetera. And so with that, we find the small events. Sometimes it's a bowling league. Sometimes it's poker night. Sometimes it's peer-to-peer support. But we love the fun things because you can take that learned knowledge and the activity knowledge that my mentor taught me, and you do amazing things with it. That being said, we found a great community partner at the Dell Diamond. And of course, we're talking about the Round Rock Express. Henry and Laura have done phenomenal things for outreach for veterans. We hosted one last year, and they loved it so much, and they said, let's do more. And we said, yes, let's do that. And so with that one, we've got 2,500 tickets that we're giving away to veterans. The only way that you can get a ticket is going to TexVet.org, and then you follow the links, and you can read the information there. But at the event, we're going to open up 5:30, like you said. We're going to have 50 of the veteran service organizations, and we're talking about Heroes Night Out, Horses for Heroes, Veteran Outdoors, Armzilla, the VA centers, the TVC. So if you have questions about any benefits, you've been denied benefits, or you simply don't know, come out and network with the other veterans that are going to be out there. You're not alone. And then find out some information. Maybe it's not what you need, but I guarantee you somebody that you know is a veteran doesn't know about those benefits, and we can connect them. It's free hot dogs and sodas for them and their entire families for them to come out. And the first double amputee who was ever allowed back in the United States Army, and that is Dana Bowman. He's going to skydive in and throw out the first ceremonial pitch.
Wow.
How cool is that?
That is pretty cool. And there's also other stuff going on. You guys got a silent auction. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Most definitely. We've got one of the guys coming out, and his nickname is Tater Salad, because guess what? He's got the same name as the comedian. But he comes in, and a great guy, and he brings all this nostalgia in, and people can bid on those during the game, and the proceeds go to two of the charities that we have coming out. And the charities we have this year are Veteran Outdoors, and what they do, they give back to those who have given already, and they do big game hunting, fishing, etc. Imagine that you've come back from war, and you're an amputee, or you have PTSD and TBI, and you don't get to do the things you used to do. Well, they help you with that transition. And also Heroes Night Out. They offer assistance and support for veterans and their families as they transition back into the civilian sector as well. Blue Bonnet Trails will be out there, and that's part of the peer-to-peer support group. TVC, you heard me talk about them, and also the Texas Veterans Leadership Program. And with the silent auction, we're really excited. It raised a lot of money last year, so bring your pocketbooks when you come out. People have pocketbooks these days, or just credit cards. And also during the game, you're going to see the Round Rock Express players. They're going to be wearing camouflage jerseys.
Okay.
You get to bid on those. Oh, okay. And so they'll wash them, and then if you want, they'll have whoever's jersey you won, they'll have them autographed for you and get that out to you. That way you can take a piece of that back with you. Again, 100% of the proceeds from all these events, those go to help out the Texas charities that are showing up to help veterans.
All right. Once again, June 27th, that's Monday, June 27th, out at Dell Diamond, the Military Appreciation Night. Gates opening at 5:30 and the game starting at 7:05. You got the skydive entrance by double amputee Dana Bowman. Silent auction. The Express players are wearing the camo jerseys, as Tim just mentioned. Color guard, military vehicles. Dana's also throwing out the first pitch. We got all kinds of stuff going on that day. And the veterans, active duty military, and family members can get complimentary tickets by going to www.texvet.org. And we want to make sure that we really stress that, because we don't want anybody showing up at the Dell Diamond asking for free tickets, but you guys really want to go through the TexVet website, correct?
Thank you, Chris, so much for that, because we would love to open it up to everybody, but you got to remember that the Round Rock Express has been very benevolent with the tickets, and of course with our title sponsorship to the Veterans Land Board, that we have 2,500 tickets. We may be able to get a few more on the berm or the lawn seats, but those are going to be short to come by, so it's going to be on a first come, first served basis. And so by going to the website, they're going to ensure that they and their family members get to come out, and this is also going to be military or veteran friendly, which means I know they usually have fireworks during the game. For this one, they will not have the fireworks, because a lot of veterans coming back, when you hear the big booms and bangs, it kind of freaks us out.
Yeah.
And so we're going to honor their service, and we're not going to have it that night.
All right. Monday, June 27th, Military Appreciation Night out at the Dell Diamond. And even if you aren't a veteran or you don't have any family members that are veterans, come on out. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on, and really enjoy the show put on there. And before I let you go, Tim, you guys are also on the social networks as well, Facebook and Twitter. You want to give those out for us?
Please do. In fact, if you just go to TexVet.org, you'll see Connect with us with our social media. Or you can just go, when you go into Facebook, type in TexVet. We should pop up one of the top ones there. Please click on us, like us. We enjoy that. And it knows that we're connecting with the people out there. Maybe you want to volunteer and you want to come out or thank a veteran. We have some coming out from World War II.
Wow.
And it's excellent. In fact, we supported the efforts. We spearheaded those for Frank Buckles when he passed away in January for a birthday event out there. And Dana was going to jump into that event, but due to the weather and the health of a 110-year-old man, we're unable to pull the trigger on that one. But we've got some great things coming up for this event.
All right. Military Appreciation Night, once again, Monday, June 27th, out at the Dell Diamond, Round Rock Express versus the Oklahoma City Redhawks. You can find out some more information at texvet.org. Tim Stroud is the initiative manager for TexVet. Tim, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Chris.